Life isn't always as straightforward as it seems, and sometimes, our relationships can leave us reeling from emotional chaos that we never expected. Imagine trusting someone who appears to care deeply about you, only to find out that they've been manipulating you all along. They lie, distort the truth, and warp your perception of reality. By the time you realize what's been happening, you're left questioning everything: your worth, your reality, and even your sanity. This is what happens when a narcissist's lies trap you in a cycle of deceit, and recovering from it can feel like an impossible task. Yet there is hope. Understanding how narcissists work, why they lie, and how you can start healing is the first step in reclaiming your life and your peace of mind. We're about to dive deep into the world of narcissism and uncover how these toxic individuals use their lies to manipulate and control those around them. But most importantly, we'll explore how recovery is possible. The journey back to a healthy mindset, a restored sense of self-worth, and the ability to trust again is difficult, but completely achievable. Stay with us as we unravel this topic, and by the end, you'll know exactly how you can take your life back and build a brighter, healthier future after the damage narcissists have caused. Before we go deeper into this, if you're interested in this topic and want to hear more, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. By doing so, you're helping spread awareness about a crucial issue that affects so many people, and together, we can help others escape from toxic relationships and begin their own healing journey. Let's get started. Narcissism is often misunderstood, but the damage it causes is real. Narcissistic individuals don't just tell lies. They weave intricate webs of manipulation, designed to confuse and control. They may show you love one moment, and then tear you down the next, leaving you emotionally exhausted and unsure of where you stand. The narcissist's lies are crafted to serve their need for power, admiration, and validation, and they will stop at nothing to maintain this control. You may have found yourself in a relationship where everything seemed perfect at the start. The narcissist was charming, attentive, and caring. At least, that's what you thought. Over time, their behavior started to change, but you couldn't quite put your finger on it. Perhaps they became more distant, or maybe they started to accuse you of things you didn't do. It's common for narcissists to project their flaws onto others, making their targets feel confused and guilty for things they never did. One of the most painful aspects of being involved with a narcissist is the constant self-doubt they instill. Their lies, their gaslighting, and their mind games can leave you questioning your own reality. You begin to wonder if you're the one at fault, if you're being too sensitive, or if you're just imagining things. But the truth is, narcissists are expert manipulators, and they use their lies to destabilize your sense of self, making you dependent on them for validation. Recovering from the emotional wounds left by a narcissist's lies is not a linear process. It requires time, self-reflection, and most importantly, a decision to take back control of your life. It begins with understanding that the narcissist's behavior is not a reflection of your worth. Their lies were designed to serve their own insecurities and desires, not to truthfully reflect who you are or what you deserve. The first step toward recovery is acknowledging that what you experienced wasn't normal. Narcissists create a false reality that they want you to live in, but it's crucial to understand that this distorted reality is not your fault. The lies that were told to you, whether they were about your worth, your abilities, or your emotions, were part of their manipulation. Narcissists thrive on control, and one of the best ways they maintain that control is by keeping their victims in a state of constant confusion. As you begin to unravel the web of lies and deceit, you'll start to realize just how much of what you believed was a carefully constructed illusion. This is where healing begins, in the understanding that what happened wasn't real, and you were not the one who created the dysfunction. Narcissists project their own insecurities onto others, so the lies they told you were not about you at all. They were about them and their need to control. One of the most difficult aspects of recovery is learning how to trust again. After enduring the narcissist's lies, it can feel impossible to believe anyone, even those who genuinely care for you. But rebuilding trust is essential for moving forward. Start by setting boundaries with people who have earned your trust, and don't be afraid to say no when necessary. Trust is not something that can be restored overnight, but with time, you can begin to rebuild it, one step at a time. Another important part of recovery is learning to rebuild your self-worth. Narcissists are skilled at tearing down your confidence, making you feel unworthy of love or respect. However, you are not defined by their lies. Your value is intrinsic and cannot be determined by the opinions or manipulations of another person. Healing requires you to reconnect with your own sense of self-worth, to remember who you are, and to recognize that you deserve a healthy, respectful relationship. You may find it helpful to seek therapy or counseling during this process. A professional can help you untangle the emotional damage left by the narcissist's lies and provide guidance on how to move forward. Therapy can be an essential tool for gaining clarity, learning how to cope with the emotional fallout, and building strategies for navigating future relationships in a healthy way. Surrounding yourself with a strong support system is also critical to your recovery. Whether it's friends, family, or support groups, having people who believe in you and care about your well-being can help you heal. It's important to distance yourself from people who might still be connected to the narcissist or who invalidate your experiences. Recovery requires a safe space where you can express your feelings without fear of judgment or manipulation. As you continue on your healing journey, it's important to remember that progress is not always a straight line. There will inevitably be days where it feels like you've taken a step back, and that's completely normal. Healing from narcissistic abuse is a long-term process, and it's essential to be kind and patient with yourself during this time. Each day, no matter how small, is a step forward. It's these small victories that will ultimately guide you to a place of peace and self-empowerment. It's also vital to recognize that the journey toward healing is uniquely personal. Everyone's experience with narcissistic abuse is different, and the path to recovery will look different for each individual. The road may be challenging, but every effort you make to understand, confront, and heal from the abuse is valuable. With time, you'll begin to reconnect with your true self, learn to trust again, and find strength in your ability to move forward. One of the most important steps in healing from narcissistic abuse is reclaiming your sense of self. Narcissistic abuse often leaves individuals feeling lost and disconnected from who they truly are. However, through self-reflection, therapy, and support from others, you can begin to rediscover your identity. This process involves rebuilding your self-esteem, learning to set healthy boundaries, and embracing your worth beyond the abuse. As you rebuild your self-worth, it's crucial to understand the truth about narcissism and how it operates. Narcissists use manipulation, deceit, and emotional abuse to maintain control and power over others. Recognizing these patterns can help you avoid falling into the same traps in future relationships. Knowledge is empowering, and by understanding the dynamics of narcissistic abuse, you can protect yourself from further harm and focus on your own healing. In the end, it's important to remember that the narcissist's lies and manipulation don't define your future. While their abuse may have left you feeling broken, it is possible to heal and rebuild your life. By setting clear boundaries, seeking support, and taking the time to nurture your mental and emotional health, you can recover and create a life that is authentic, fulfilling, and free from the shadows of the past. Lastly, we want to thank you for sticking with us through this important conversation. If you found this discussion helpful, please like, share, and subscribe to help spread awareness. By sharing these messages, you can encourage healing for those who are going through similar struggles. Always remember, recovery is not only possible, but you are not alone on this journey. Healing is a process, and with time, support, and self-compassion, you will emerge stronger and more resilient.